Hey, Raindrops. Yes, I have a big announcement to make. Because my favorite shows are my own creations, yes, the Love and Marriage franchise and Belle Collective, I want to do something different as we sort of recap these amazing series. So instead of me talking about it all the time, although I know I can, how about I present a cast member from Belle Collective talking to a cast member from the Love and Marriage franchise, and they can talk about their respective shows and spill all the tea, get to know each other. Some of them do, some of them don't, but it'll be fun. Yes. So this is going to happen maybe every week, every other week, who knows? But today, we're going to kick things off with Latisha Pearson from Belle Collective talking to Latisha Scott. See, Tisha from Love and Marriage Huntsville. So we got Tisha, honey, and Tisha having a conversation about Belle Collective and Love and Marriage Huntsville. Please enjoy and make sure to like and subscribe to this channel.
Oh, it's your favorites, your Latisha and Latisha, the Love and Marriage and Belle Collective crossover conversation. What's up, girl?
Yes. What's up? It's Latisha and Tisha.
Girl, yes. What you up to?
Girl, nothing. Look, you see, I got my T-Squad shirt on. I represent for my girls on here because we already know. It's the T-Squad, but it's really the T-Squad over here.
I love it, the T-Squad. Yes, ma'am. You looking all cute, girl. Excuse me, I just came off the road, but listen, I said I gotta have this conversation with my girl. How the girls going?
You look good too. I'm liking this neutral color on you. I see you.
You know that skin, honey, brown girls, honey.
Come on.
Yes, yes.
But you know,
how
it's Christmas time. Christmas time, so I'm in the house wrapping gifts, got deliveries coming, trying to hurry up and put these things together before my husband get home. So yeah, that's what we be up to over here. We on break right now. Praise the Lord. However, I've been catching up on Belle Collective, girl.
Same. You didn't listen. First, I told you before, I am a Love and Marriage fan. Do you hear me? Since day one, you know, and not to be biased, I have loved you. I said, maybe it's a picture, you know. So yes, ma'am. You know, girl, they say we are the same. A lot of people. I'm
sorry. No,
we both say events, and then
yeah, you know what? Yes, look, it's the same here because when your show first came on, the scene in the bedroom with you and Glenn, and he was talking, I was like, oh, not a Marcel part.
Not a Marcel part too. Wait. Oh, you're talking about when the girl came out the closet and she was singing?
Yeah, no, the very first, when y'all first hit on, y'all storyline reminded me of, like, you know, me and Marcel a little bit. So I was like, wait a second, her name is Tisha. Then he would go with this storyline that's very similar. So I was like, okay, let me what it's about, and I just fell in love with you from the very beginning. So.
Oh, likewise, and I know I've told you this so many times, but again, like, thank y'all for paving the way. You know what I'm saying? OG paving the way for Belle Collective, and you know, so many other amazing shows Kingdom Reign putting out there. So again, thank you for that. Just you being able. What I love about you, Tisha, from what I love, like real talk, is that you just come across just very like we were similar, like very authentic. Like it is what it is. Like I know I may look crazy, but at the end of the day, I may look great, but it is what it is. I'm just showing up as myself, and I absolutely love that about you, you know. And girl, we got these husbands who they don't mind saying, doing, and I get it. Like I there are a lot of things that I really get, you know. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, honey.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, the corset is just with us for real. It's like what you see, what you get. We call ourselves the corset, but you do know that, you know, we're grateful for the opportunity with working with On and Kingdom Reign for sure.
Yeah.
You know, everybody know the story. Male interview Carlos, and then the Scott came, and then hey, they have it, the corset. But
Yes.
it's been fun. It's been fun. It's really been a great life experience, and I can't wait to share this, story with our kids when we get older.
Yeah.
And when y'all show first hit on, I was like, yes, come on, Carlos, come on. We were so excited about it. I love that it was a mostly girls cast working together, but then y'all have these outspoken husbands. So I was like, wait a second now.
Yes. Our husbands, girl, yes, absolutely. The same way with us. Like it's all, and we're all. I know you said you're a fan of Belle Collective. You see us all like trying to juggle this, juggle that, and then some of us we're dealing with our husbands because coming from the South, it's been like we take the back
right.
Sometimes. So this is a different scenario for a lot of us. I mean, you will see myself, you will see like Latrice, you will see us, just going through different things, trying to be the bosses that we are and working with our husbands. So it's all of that.
I like that. And I think that's a different thing for our reality TV show is because we're wives. We work with our husband, but born and raised in the South, people talk about especially my communication all the time, how I'll enunciate certain things and the respect that I have for my husband. It's like nowadays, a lot of the younger generation, they're like, independent this, I don't need a man for that, I don't need a man for this. But I get a lot of heat on my show because one, what I'm never ever gonna do is be disrespectful to my husband. Like at the end of the day, I'm gonna have my man back. I'm not gonna be disrespectful to him. And another thing, I'm not ever gonna be disrespectful to my mother. So that's another thing, that I get a lot of heat for on our show. But I like the fact that people do get a chance to see the relationship with husband and wives, raising a family, running a business, working in business with your husband, how to balance the whole what I'm gonna do with my kids. I know like my story was my transition from being a stay-at-home mom to going back into the workforce. However, but keeping my kids and my husband number one. I'm like the career is gonna come whenever, but my main priority would be my husband and my kids. And so, and I know, and that's something I see with you right now. You opened up your business. Kudos to that.
Thank you.
And you have your son, and working with Glenn. And then also I see that you give advice to your other castmates about their husband and husband talking to your husband about certain situations and things like that. So how is that? Like, how do you feel like, just working with that particular, your group of castmates and their spouses?
Like anything, like you said, it's six, or you called you guys the six. I can't remember. What did you call you guys? The six, your group?
The core six.
Okay, the core. It is like all of us at the end of the day, regardless. I like to tell the girls, I've said this before, we like a big dysfunctional family. You know what I mean? Like we are a dysfunctional family at the end of the day, and we're all into this together. It's not easy because for our show, you got alpha females. Like we're set in our ways. We're running stuff. So it's like you're not gonna come in here and try to play me. You're not gonna do this and do that. And what I applaud you on, Tisha, is that I gave that same thing to Glenn originally. Oh, I'm a wife, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm putting you, before everything else. But in my situation, once it started, I didn't get that mutual respect. It is a privilege, like I said before, to have access to me and to be with me. So I'm all for that as long as it's going back and forth and it's mutual. But both ways. But I'm not gonna take the back seat anymore. Right now, it is a great time to be thriving. It's a great time to be thriving as a woman. So I would not allow Glenn or anybody else's insecurities to stop me because I have put myself on the back burner for so long to cater to everybody else. And I'm not doing that anymore. So I applaud you for that. As long as it's mutual, going back and forth, do your thing. But always remember, you got purpose too.
Yeah, no, totally agree with that. And one of the things I'm just so grateful for real. And I think we talk about it this season on the show is options. I'm like, I have options. If I want to stay at home and take care of my babies, I can do that. If I want to go into the workforce and work, I can do that. I'm grateful that God provided me with a husband that is willing to work hard for his family and willing to give me, those options. And I know that people may not see that side on the show, but a lot of females don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have to worry about taking care of home, then have to go out here and worry about paying the bills.
Right, that's true.
My focus is at home. While my husband out here networking and making deals happen, I'm making sure our family and our home situation is taken care of. So, I am grateful for those options, and I think we should see more of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's
because that's true. Because what we see, and I told you when we met, I was like Martha and Glenn, and we talked about it at the bar. By the way, I'm like hooked on the lemon drops. Thanks, Tisha.
Hey, lemon drop with the tequila.
They are so good. They are so good. But no, seriously, because on the show, and we talked, I talked to you about that, and that leads me into Stormy calling Martha a bitch, because you said all of these things. You said all of these things, and it's like, okay, wow. And in my head, I'm like, but I love to see it. I love to hear you talking about it. How do you feel? Like, because I could in the scene where you guys, Stormy had invited you guys out to bowl, like y'all went out on a date night.
Yeah.
And you guys were at the pool hall. I think it was a pool hall, right? You guys were at the pool hall. And it just seemed as if, and Courtney came in, I guess, and you guys want to have a conversation. And I could see the look. Actually, I could see the look in Martha's face, like, why are we bringing up this bitch again? Like, what are we doing here in you? So do you kind of see where Stormy was coming from, though, with it?
Absolutely not. And the thing is, people felt like, oh, it's weird that Tisha is so comfortable allowing Stormy to disrespect her husband like that. And I'm like, with my personality, I have a different type of personality. So Stormy and we talked about it. When it first happened, we talked about it. I told her, I felt it's totally disrespectful. It is not okay with me. We talked about it again, and we actually filmed talking about it. Unfortunately, it didn't make the cut, but we filmed talking about it. And she was like, well, from my upbringing, we talk like this all the time. You from Mississippi, she from Mississippi. I was like, okay, cool. I'm from Bessemer. My family may call each other names too, but when it comes to coming to a man, you just don't disrespect a man like that. And I'm like, and it's totally disrespectful. Then she was like, I get what you're coming from. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna do it no more. Okay, bet, cool. Let's move on, because I'm not gonna stay stuck on it. You said you're sorry. Okay, it is what it is. We're gonna move on. Then at the bowling alley, Marcel and Courtney had a conversation, and Marcel was just like, it's weird to me that you're comfortable you don't have a problem with your wife calling another man out his name. And her husband was like, no. So I'm like, well, shit, apparently they talk to each other like that. That's how they communicate. So after that bowling alley, I don't want to give too much away, but after that, that's when my relationship with Stormy and my respect for her changed, because I don't communicate like that with my friends. I don't communicate like that with my husband. Me and my husband, we'd never call each other out of each other's name. And I just don't operate like that. And I don't know any other females who feel so comfortable that I hang around calling another female husband out of his name. That's just not my cup of tea. That's not my group, So once you realize you don't vibe well together, then that's when you distance yourself.
Yeah, I think too. And I told you,
we're gonna bypass this, because let me tell you about your homegirl Marrige.
What she do?
What she hard for you? She goes so hard for you. I love it when she saw Glenn. She like, go to Walmart and go play with a toy or something.
Let me tell you,
no matter how hard she go, how would you feel if she was to disrespect, Glenn, and call him out his name like that?
Marrige and Glenn, they have disrespected each other so much this season. Like, even
Whoa.
before a little bit, but it's like on a whole nother level now. And it's almost, they go back and forth, like constantly back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, constantly. But they're going back and forth with each other. Glenn is not over in like, you know, the other girls' business and stuff like that. But when it comes to him and Marrige, like, so there's no way Marrige can come up and say, Glenn, you a bitch, because he like, I miss me in your argument. I'm not over here.
Her. He gonna get into it with her.
Yeah, straight at her.
Okay.
You know, yeah, straight at her all the time, nonstop, no matter the time, day, at all times. And I think it's because, let me just tell you this. Sometimes in situations, Marrige's delivery, it be all wrong sometimes. It's all wrong. But she's passionate about her friends. Like Marrige is like straight up. So if she's witnessed me being hurt, she's witnessed different things, she don't speak about it. Now there are a lot of times it just goes, and me and her, we've had conversation about it. But like, you know, she also went through something with her husband. I think she spoke on that a little bit, like with her husband. And a lot of times it's like, I don't want you to experience what I went through. You know, you have people saying, hey,
it brings up
going through it.
Yeah.
And then you have people saying
up what she went through.
And
her situation, it brings up what she went through. I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then too, you have to surround yourself around people who can see things in you that you can't even see in yourself to keep you aligned and where you're going, you know. And there was a lot of things too that Glenn has admitted, and you will see that coming up to where like the elevation. Tisha, again, I was like you know what I mean? I was like you. I even look at Melanie Holt and Martel situation. I feel like Melanie was the wife too, just like you. And sometimes people don't change, people change people. You know what I mean? So it's not like you don't want to do that, but damn, how long you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? So Marrige.
Yeah. And I think in relationship, you grow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's a time you hold it down for your husband, and there's a time the husband hold it down for his wife.
Yeah.
Which is very similar to, you know, Marcel and I. When I told Marcel I want to go back to school to get my second master's in real estate development, although he had these projects going on, he was like, you know what? Okay, Tisha, I'm gonna take care of the household while you travel and you go to school and you do your stuff for the project. Then I'm gonna, make sure I hold it down at home and take care of the kids. So, and that's just, we've been married, it'll be 18 years, you know what I'm saying, coming up. Yeah. So you're gonna have those moments where we're gonna hold it down for one another. And that's how and that's the point of having a teammate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be. In business, in the relationship, you're not, the same person is always not going to be on the top. It's going to, it's going to turn and change. We just have to know that we're in it together. I bring that up because I remember hearing a clip or seeing an episode when you and Glenn had a meeting with the bank or the bank owners, and he had an issue about the contract. Like you paying him through your business, and he was like, that's not how it's supposed to be. And you was like, what, you don't trust me? And I was like, dang, that's true, because he's trying really hard to win your trust back and get back with you. And he have this opportunity to just humble himself and say, you know what? My wife is going to take care of this. I'm going to trust her. I'm going to trust this process that she has with us on, and the vision that God put into her for our family. So it's like, we have to learn how to trust one another.
Try to trust. And that's good. Let's throw it back. Even today, you got, like I said, you guys been together 18 years. So I'm sure married, and you guys dated before. So probably, I think we talked around the same time, total 25 years. Glenn and I have been with since I was, 17, married, 20s? Or I know. So the thing is, though, so with me, it's always everything you said about Marcel. Glenn was like the provider. I was able to stay at home. I was a paralegal for 10, 11 something years, and Glenn was working. So that was my profession. I was doing that great. Everything was comfortable, and even with that, even with me doing great here to be a paralegal in Mississippi, Glenn still made more. I was still like What do you want? I was still catering. I was still doing things. I mean, you know, people don't know this. I had a side. I've been a bail bondsman since 2011. You know,
Wow.
so that,
Okay.
so yeah, absolutely. So I was still doing things and I was still moving, but not at this capacity. It was never anything to make Glenn feel uncomfortable or threaten myself to elevate so high that he would think that I would leave. So that caused a lot of friction. Not to mention, we went through a whole situation on the show. So a lot of stuff has played into a lot of different things. And I said it once before. I think I did say it on the show. You know, how you go from black goals to, you know, to something else, but that's life. So my situation is different. Do you feel if you were to go out and just start doing your own thing? Because I do so much, from traveling, running my stuff. I can take care of my stuff, you know, events, and doing so much to where now, you know, at the end of the day, I'm trying to make this work because I want to, not because I have to. So if you were to go out and start doing your own and doing your thing, you don't think that Martha would have a problem with that?
You know, I feel like we made sacrifices, right? So in my mind, I feel like if I was to go out there and I'm busy like that, making those moves, traveling and booking all of these things, I turned down a lot of stuff because it's within the time frame of my kids being in school. I like to be a very hands-on mom. So I like to pick my kids up from school. I take my kids to their activities. So I feel like there's a season and a time for everything. And I truly believe that although I am getting my foot back in the market of real estate, I still put my schedules around while my kids are in school. You know, my season right now is not to go hard for my career because I still have small kids. And I feel like when things just doesn't flow good, when confusion comes, that means God, that's not what God has, you know, planned for me in my life. And I talked about that on the show because I was like, you know, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start going there. But then I felt like I started becoming too busy and I was stressing myself out unnecessarily. So I had to back a little bit. Yeah. Although Martha was like, Tisha, you do you, because he's caught up in this whole thing as a boss. You say you want to be a boss this, boss that. And I'm like, for me, it's not about being a boss. It's about, we know as a mom and as a wife, we tend to lose ourselves sometimes. And that was one of the things when the first season came back, when I was a stay-at-home mom, I took over the property management side of our business because I still wanted to make sure I am learning and I'm growing and I'm developing. I still have these business skills set because I didn't want just my whole life to be about just my kids and my husband. Because once your kids graduate, then you become lost. And so that's why I wanted to make sure I was still in the business arena. So yeah, I think back to answer your question, I think Marcel will be on board. I think it's more so of me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's more me. Like, okay, Tisha, you don't want to miss out on this time with your kids because they're only young for a certain amount of time. And I always had the mindset that you can always make money, but time, once it's gone, you're gone. You can never get time back.
Yeah, and that is true. That is true. That is so true. And I applaud you for being that, for being, you know, there with your girls, to watch your girls, your kids grow up and everything. So for like, if I tell people, and not to say it's you, because I know I've seen you work, I've seen you do a lot of different things and maneuver and looking good doing it, honey. But you know, one thing I have to say at the end of the day, you can't build a boss, you can't make a boss. They got to be in you. So it has to be in you, you know, and that right there. So listening to you and prioritizing your kids, I would never take you, you know, away from any of that. Just always, you're on a major platform. Utilize it, walk in your purpose, and you never know, build a legacy, you know, for your kids, where your kids don't have to go and, you know, and do different things, and maybe you guys can start traveling together. But
and that's what it's all about. I agree with that. And you know, thank you so much for that. And you know, there's no right or wrong way. We don't know.
Yeah.
We've only lived this life once. I've only been a mom once. You've only been a mom once, a wife. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know. We learn by trials and errors. We try it out. If it works, works, we continue. If it doesn't, then we switched it up. So and that's one of the reasons I wanted to start my girl's hair product, because my oldest daughter, which today is her birthday, she turned 12.
Happy birthday.
So, but she wanted to start doing her own hair. And I was like, okay, well, let's make this fun. Let's talk about different hair products and the ingredients in the products and how you need to make sure you're not burning your hair out, how it's okay to wear you like natural style. Because I was like, one day I want them to look back at this experience and be like, oh, man, my mom did this together. You know what I'm saying? We created this together. So although it is teaching them about business and giving them the confidence that if I want to start something, nobody is stopping me but me. I could do it. So that's what that's what life is all about. I just love to grow. I love to learn. I'm here for, you know, girls and ladies working together, us supporting one another. And that's why I'm so happy that we having this conversation, because that's what it's all about. Like, I'm a fan of your show. I give you girls your props. I love what
give
y'all
you ladies
doing.
yours.
Thank you. And
I see Kimmy coming through this season, honey. Kimmy is coming.
Kimmy?
Yes, honey. That episode, what you guys were at, was it the nail salon? I think you guys were at the nail salon.
Yeah.
And she asked Mel, you know, about the name change, right? Oh, and honestly, to be honest, like, because I know we can always be 100%, you know, transparent with each other. That's what I love about every time we talk. But listen, had things gone that way with me and Glenn, I was trying to figure out how could I do the same thing? How could I build my legacy on my maiden name? You know? So I think it'd be so much time like to that. Like I want to hear your thoughts on that. But for me, I love Kimmy, you know that. I love Kimmy, but I'm just kind of like, who you
being there. What I heard from the conversation is that Kimmy was more so like, you know, as being an African American, people tend to think, oh, you're a single mom, or, you know, just give you that, you know, that look in the school systems, I guess. I have personally never experienced that. So I really didn't fully, and I wasn't too engaged in the conversation because, girl, I was like, it ain't got nothing to do with
you. You were like, I can't throw rocks. Let me just sit this one out. I love when you said that. You were like, let me just sit this one out.
I was just doing my wine and my pedicure.
Yes.
And I was like, man, what was best for her? I feel like once you're done with a person or a situation, you move on. You know what I'm saying? There's no sense of holding on to anything that you're over with, that you want to move from. So, you know, kudos to her for having that whole moment and making a big deal out of it, because she was ready to move on. However, I just felt like the conversation with Kimmy had more so to do with how people look at you within the school system, which is what I gathered. But girl,
really,
I ain't got no bones in that fight. No dogs.
I'm gonna sit this one out too. I'm gonna be like you, Tisha. I'm gonna sit this one out too.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit this one out. So do you get a feel? And what I love, even you said like Stormy is from Mississippi, right? Mississippi is Mississippi. So when I do see Stormy on the screen, I do see Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that real, that raw. Stormy be blunt, and it goes to way, and I'm like, oh my God, it's one of those. I know what you're saying, but I shouldn't have said that right here. You know what I'm saying? Or right now.
You get really raw?
Is it raw?
You said you get real and raw?
Yeah, like it's real and raw. It's not real and raw.
I'm just asking when you see, you know, because I really didn't know Stormy prior to her joining the show. And she reached out to me, and you know how you were saying you need to be around females that's going to, you know, uplift you and cheer you up. She reached out to me and she was like, girl, you need to pop your collar, because she came to our plaza. Destiny invited her to a party we had at our plaza. And she was like, you need to pop your collar, Tisha. You don't do this. You don't do that, girl. This your shit. You own this shit. This your shit. Like, that's how she was talking about it. And I was like, yeah. How I grew up I'm an 80s baby. I grew up, you work hard, you keep your head down, you work hard. I don't brag about what I got going on or what I'm doing, because, you know, I grew up in the projects. And when people know what you got, they come looking for you, and I ain't got time for that.
Oh,
I ain't the bragging type.
yeah.
It was just, and so I got that at first, but then after the whole situation with her, she is giving me fake now. She's giving me fake, and I would have never thought I would say that, but it's just like, girl, like, you gonna get your fans on this show. Don't worry about your fans gonna be your fans. They're gonna ride for you. You don't have to make up situations or overdo anything to gain your audience. So that's what threw me off when you said real and raw. I was like,
real and raw. And you know how it is. And I say the same thing about ladies on our show. You be like, wait a second, you know, and again, and they, you know, want to cater to a certain audience, so they want people to look at them a certain type of way. And for me, I don't think you have to keep saying I'm real, I'm loyal, I'm this. People gonna
because you're trying to convince people. When you say that, it's like you're trying to convince people to believe that. You don't have to say that. It should speak for itself. By you saying it over and over, pay attention to this. When people say things over and over and over again, it's a lie, or they're trying to convince somebody of a lie.
Boom, that part. Oh my goodness, Tisha, that is so true. Well, you know, that's like I said, from the outside, of course, looking in or anything like that, that's, you know, that's what I see. What I also see is, honey, Tisha, you over there producing storylines for folks. Because it's Tisha, just like over here, Tisha. Glenn.
I mean, I see. I believe what they told them. If y'all want to be relevant on Love and Marriage, then y'all need the competition in Marital.
Your phone going out. I hear you. I just see you moving. Your phone went out, Tisha. Your phone went out.
I was just like, I feel like when the new people come on the show, people tell them, if you want to be relevant, competition in Marital, and make sure you talk about their marriage because you have to be relevant. And that's the only way they can be relevant. Like, they keep talking about us. I'm like, I'm y'all to talk about what's in y'all life because there's a lot of stuff going on in y'all. And y'all real life that you can be talking about. That's a real life.
Oh, yeah, that you could be talking about, because at the end of the day, like, I put everything out from me and Glenn. Girl, I even stopped being a wife. I stopped paying like bills. I stopped doing everything. You stand down there, you handle everything. Whatever happens. I stopped doing everything. I stopped showing up as a wife. You know, so everything was out there. And then you see Casper, it's like, we're in love, we're this, we're blissful. And I'm like, wait a second, you know? So what I've learned too, Tisha, to do, and I just learned it. When I started to learn that my words and my response, there's oxygen in it. So now I choose who I want to suffocate and who I want to resuscitate.
Ooh,
that part.
That.
Because at the end of the day, I'm looking at it, I'm like, Tisha this. It's like people want my soul to have girl, Tisha, can I be honest? Because let me be honest. Okay, I have been waiting on Martha. Where is the mistress from season 1?
Girl,
we just here, but
6 years, honey. They done tried to pay people to come on the show and said, look, my cousin, the damn near beg a person to come on the show.
What? So that's where, as a matter of fact, and Stormy said Columbia, if they went to Columbia, that's where Cliff was trying to get Glenn to go. It's like,
it's so funny to me. My husband and I, at the end of the day, I'm going to trust him. I trust him. You guys, like I said, they've been trying to pay people for 6 years to come on here and say something. Nobody said nothing. And I've never heard of these type of rumors until we started this show. Once we started the show, that's when, because we want to get infidelity off of us, we're going to throw it on them. Never heard of it before to them. So I take trips with my homegirls. That's what the guys said. What somebody you can't trust? And I told my husband that in scene. Like, if you don't trust me, then we got bigger issues. So just like she was like, well, you know, they have strippers in Colombia. I'm like, girl, they got them in Vegas too.
Okay. So do you think that she was trying to insinuate with that statement that Martha was over there in Colombia with the prostitutes?
She was trying to. All of the ladies on the show keep coming saying stuff about Martha. I'm like, damn,
Your
What are
phone,
you concerned about?
it's going out again, Tisha. It be going out. Okay.
All of the ladies, every time they come on the show, they want to insinuate Marcel doing this or Marcel doing that. I'm like, what is the big problem? Everybody wants Marcel D.
Yeah. Girl, and even now, Tisha, let's go here. I hate to bring this up because I saw how you walked out. You walked out, and we talked about this a little bit. So if you're uncomfortable, please, by all means, be like, we ain't gonna talk about that. Tisha, real talk, honestly, how does that make you feel that your cousin is on the show, like blood, first cousin on the show, going at you, like first cousin, like blood?
Yeah, blood.
Yeah, like how does that like make you feel? Like, I mean, unexpectedly.
Her dad is my uncle. My mom has 3 brothers, so her dad is one of my uncles. Like, and I love my family to death. And it is difficult. And as you can see on the show, I'm not saying much to her or about her because I don't want to start any issues in our daughters are best friends.
Oh my God,
yeah,
what?
So that's the difficult part. Our daughters, they're the same age and they're best friends. And so it is so hurtful for me to even try to go back and forth with her. I'm like, I'm just gonna, like you said, you got to determine what you're gonna give energy to and what you're not going to give energy to. And I've decided that I'm not going to give energy to that situation because it's not just something that you guys see on TV. It's been an issue or ongoing situation for the past 15 years.
Wow.
And I can't
I see it on the screen.
I can't even sum up on the TV show of what has happened. I just, at the end of the day, that relationship to me is I've moved forward. I want her to do whatever is best for her and to focus on her and her family and keep me and my family name out of her mouth because she has a lot that she could be focusing on that does not include me. You know, if I was to really talk, I could do some damage and I don't want to do that. So please leave me alone.
Oh, I get that. And that's exactly where we are similar. Like, I could go there, really, really go there. And I'm like, but you know what? That's not even, even you guys will see it maybe later on. I don't know. But even I had the opportunity to even go there and treat someone like they treated me. But I'm like, that's not my character. If I do that, then I'm you. And I would never, I don't want to be you. I don't, you know, that's not a goal in my life to be you. I'm who I am. So that says a lot. But girl, when I saw that come across the screen, and it was when I originally, it was, and she probably came on before, but the first time I saw Kiki, it was at Melody's party. I think it was like maybe 2 seasons ago or something like that. That was the first time. And I'm like, and again, I was Tisha. So I'm like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I did bring her on before. She wanted to do speaking. She wanted to do speaking engagements. Like, what you do, gorgeous. So she wants to do speaking engagements. So I had an event. It was called Hey Brown Girl. And it was just encouraging young brown girl. Yeah, she was on stage with me, and I allowed her to share that space with me because at that time I'm like, listen, I want you to get better. I want to help you in whatever you're going through to move past it. Wow. So yeah, so she was on the show. Yep, she was on the show with me, and we did the Hey Brown Girl, and she shared that I allowed her to share that moment with me. But yeah, I guess that didn't give her the attention she wanted. So, you know.
My gosh. Wow, Tisha. Well, you keep doing you. You keep doing you.
That's
and
all I can
you
do,
keep doing you, and do not forget about you. So on set, I know you can ask me questions. I'm sitting here asking all the questions. You can ask me whatever.
Because, you know, filming with the ladies, and a lot of time people talk about it all the time on different shows. We film together, yeah, we work together, of course. But you and one of your castmates, Latrice, okay, Latrice, you and her, y'all had a real friendship outside of TV, right? So, and I know that you felt, and I know that you felt some type of way when she made a statement. She's like, "Oh, we're just coworkers," you know. And she's been going around telling people y'all just co-workers. So how did you deal with that, even with that situation with her? Like, have y'all moved past that? Have y'all talked about it? Are y'all back, cool, or even call y'all selves girlfriends again? Like, how is that going?
No, we haven't had no conversation since then.
Really?
Like, we filmed the reunion, of course, but my thing is this: for the first time, that was outside of season one, season one, when we were on stage and little stuff like that, and saying little stuff about my brunch, because my brunches, they have been like the thing, it's
I love your brunches.
I can't wait to attend one. Then they turn on you. Huh?
Yeah, I can't wait to attend one of your brunches. I love them.
We need to do one together.
We do.
Tisha, we need to do one together. So no, but seriously, that was our first time ever having like a serious conversation. For me, we've had conversations behind the scenes where I'm like, oh my gosh, listen, just be careful what you say. I don't think some of these girls want us to be cool. Like what Latrice would say, it never really affected me. You know how you said people like in real life. So what they say, it just be like she just saying that. You know what I mean?
She's been herself. Yeah.
She's just saying that in that moment or whatever. But when it came to the point of me actually like defending her within the collective and like, oh no, we're not gonna do this. I don't think that's a great idea. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because don't take it personal. And these ladies looking at me like, girl, this girl over here moving like this. She's in her confessional saying these girls not these girls they're not on my level, or if she would say things as like those girls or these girls, and I'm a part of the collective. So even if I did not take it personal, it's still coming across as if you're saying I'm Latrice and the collective. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, hold on now, honey, hold on now. Don't come on to the show now and turn when I threw your name in the hat, but it's all good. I understand how that works. So I was just like, it was crazy. So for us, that was our very first encounter. And I still look at her even now, because I do feel like people go through things and it's gonna pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was our first real like ever argument, and the coworker, and you didn't see that scene. Marrige was like, when you do your interviews, who do you say you the closest with? And me, her, and Esther. And I was like, well, I say I'm the closest with Latrice and Marrige. So it's like, well, listen to this man, coworker. You know what I mean? And I heard that, and it really did, like, hurt me, because people are like, listen, even you will see So Gucci saying, I know that's your girl, or, stuff like that. So we had that conversation. I do wish it would have been like, okay, boom, if I'm saying it, I'll take accountability. We'll just move forward. And it could have been squashed. You know what I mean? But it's just different. It's different, it's different, because I see people, one way, and people may see them another way. But to be disrespectful, or to even feel like you belittling somebody or doing anything, I'm not with none of that. And granted, the 9 to 5 comment, just because I wasn't personally, like I was telling them, 9 to 5, who wants a 9 to 5? Okay, who wants 9 to 5? Blah, blah, blah. How did you
9 to
feel
5
about
make
that?
the world go round, baby.
They make the world go round. And even though it's like we're flowing, and I thanked my panelists and I thanked everybody, we're flowing, but if people were offended, then I have to address it. This is my brand. Let me tell you what's being said. And it just didn't come from a So Gucci or a Marrige. It could have been like, okay, So Gucci, okay, Marrige, but there were people in the audience. And what you don't want is for people to come down and feel like this is a place where you can belittle, anyone. And it wasn't just a boss up brunch. Like it was bosses and Belle. So you can be a Southern Belle, or you can be a boss. So there was a mixture of people in the room. But when you say, at the end of the day, I say what I have to say, and I keep it, moving. I love hard, but just, it is what it is,
I appreciate that, Latisha. Honestly, like, you're doing a great job. I love how you're bringing the girls together. The whole Ferris Street situation, I love how you initiated that. I like how you, Akeisha, I like how you brought her in, you know. And to me, that's how it's supposed to be. Like, let's work together. And I wish you and her was working together on that, because you had the vision and the idea, but although her family history had the finances and she had the history in that, it's like, let's collab together and work on this. It doesn't have to be a you against me. You know what I'm saying? So I like how you be trying, and you can only do your part. And after a moment when it's like, you know what, girl, I see when you ain't trying to, you ain't feeling it, so we'll separate, we'll just do our own thing. But I just want to make sure I give you your kudos for even trying really hard to push that. So I love what y'all doing, girl. Good.
Thank you. And even on Ferris Street, people will come up and I see them. Again, I don't reply to everything because we know what it is. And running that all the way back when Ferris Street first got introduced on Belle Collective, I had so many people reaching out. And Akeisha was actually one who reached out to Melanie at that time, and Melanie connected us. It was an amazing experience. So we had did a theme. But that scene, it wasn't shown. I can't remember why, but it was a scene inside of one of those historic buildings. So when Akeisha reached out, I think I DM'd her like, hey, looking for I would love to connect, you know, because I was reaching out with people who had property on that street. Right. So we connected or whatever. It was a great experience. And I asked her, I said, well, since you own a building, can you film with me if we come back for another season? That way that our audience, they're able, and potential investors can see inside of one of those buildings. And she was like, oh my God, yes. You know, I think she was want to do her own thing and film at that time. So it worked out great. However, I see a lot of tweets going on or different things that people would say, well, she came in and she stole. Nobody can steal anything from me. Nobody can take anything from me unless I give it to them. Right. Glenn and I went through a crazy situation. So I went through survival. So my thing is this, just because I'm not on the playing field with you, I'm feeling the stands rooting for you. So to make it a thing, even, you know, with her, to make it, my family got this, my family, you're running into the same roadblock, you know. But for me, it was more so of, if you have the land, you have everything there. If anybody can get that done, regardless of what me and Akeisha have gone through, she is if she gonna get it done, she can get it done. You know, so so my thing is, I'm not here trying to take up money, because to get this going, when I came on Belle Collective, I was a stay home. So I'm not here trying to get money. I'm separated from my husband. Now I need to go into survival, and that's what I did. So I passed the baton and whatever, but she knows that I'm here for her. She had a festival down there, and I asked her what could I do. She, you know, I donated water. So it's all love on my end, girl. I just want people to win.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, just because we ain't cool don't mean I want you to fail. We may not be cool, but girl, I'm like, still, do you, girl? I still want you to be great. So yeah, I totally feel that. Now, you know, I do need to ask you a little shady moment here, because I love shady moments. Let's talk about this whole this group tweet thing.
Let's go. You talking about the tweet, the message?
The one that they said you wanted to leave the DJ. What's her name? The one who's pregnant or who had the baby now.
You talking about Tamra?
Tamra, yes. Like, you wanted to leave Tamra out the group text, or Akeisha out, and you wanted to blame it on Tamra. Why did you
The crazy thing is, when I watched these episodes, I even have text messages from me and Akeisha went back and forth. Hey, like, don't say you live here. Let's go back. When I initially talked to Akeisha and didn't know that Carlos and them had their eyes on her already. So didn't know that, because you know that we don't know any of that. But I talked to her, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, this girl is great. Her husband is an ex-NFL player. I thought she was cute. She was going in on the phone. I was like, okay, let's do it. Well, we didn't share that with anybody. Melanie, who was supposed to work with Akeisha at that time, because Melanie is like into public relations or something like that, I think. Okay, marketing or something. But anyway, so she told Latrice to pitch her too. So I'm like, oh, Latrice, I've already talked to this girl, but we're keeping it on the low. Me and Latrice got on a call, and like some other people, and we were trying to see who else could we, you know, pitch on the show. And Tamra, was like, she doesn't live here. She doesn't here. We're like, what's going on with this girl? So you guys saw where so Tamra and Akeisha knew each other, Tisha, but they were not like that. You know what I mean? So when it came up and y'all saw it on TV, it was like, oh, because they did go to school together.
Yeah, like they were friends in high school.
Yeah. So I'm like, I have with all due respect, even to Tamra. Tamra doesn't hold enough weight for me to want to come at her. Do you know what I mean? So if I'm gonna throw that, I'm just throwing that out there. So I don't understand all this extraness, going on, but it is what it is at the end of the day. And honey, listen.
Yeah, that was funny. I was like, not girl trying to throw you under the bus. At first she said she was down for it. And now she's trying to throw you under the bus because she got an issue with you. That was so funny.
Right? I'm like, did we move? What's happening here? So
that's how we move.
Honey, they want to see the queen dead.
Don't give it to them. Stay up on your throne, girl.
But yeah, girl, it's all love. It is all love. So Tisha, how has your experience been on Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Girl, where do I start? Overall, I'm gonna say overall, it has been a great experience. Overall, it's been a great experience, and because of my marriage has never been tested like this before, and you never know how strong. You never know what you can survive until you're actually tested. So this show has really strengthened my marriage, my relationship with me and my husband, my relationship with my family. We call each other the Fab Five. It really has opened my thank you. It has opened my eyes to allow me to see that no matter what, this right here is my team. This is my tribe. And I'm gonna go hard for the Fab Five. And the love that we have for one another. And you're going to see the true up and down of a marriage, because there's no perfect marriage. Yes, we have issues. Yes, sometimes, I get upset, or sometimes I'm like, God, why is this happening to us? I had to pray a lot at the beginning of this show. I'm like, why is this happening to me? Like, I don't be doing all this to people. I'm not trying. I'm not shady like that. But I had to go through this, and it ain't even over yet. I don't think it's over yet. I think I'm still going through it. But it's just the overall thing that I learned from this is really the strength of true love and the strength of a marriage.
Oh, are you about to cry?
I'm trying not to. I'm trying to hold it in. I'm trying to hold it in because, I've been tested with this. Even like with Kimmy and I, we talked about Kimmy. Kimmy and I, our relationship was so good, you know what I'm saying, before the show, and it tested that relationship as well. Although I still trust Kimmy and we're family, our relationship is not the same how it used to be. I still love her, but it's just it's not the same, and that's one of the things that I don't like that the show has done. But I don't know what God's plan is in all of this. You have to go through things just to see how strong you're going to become afterwards. You don't know until you go through it. So it's
what changed, like the couple's night, the relationship, or just the trust? Like maybe your trust changed?
My trust definitely changed. I have learned how to change my expectation of people. So I've changed my expectation. And so with that within itself, it has, just changed the way I look at certain people in certain situations. Now, and I'm not just saying just Kimmy, I'm talking about in general. I love, my family. I love my life. But this show has really opened my eyes up to just look at things. I think I was protected. I've been protected a lot of my life. I've never experienced this type of hate before, but also I've never experienced this type of, I didn't know how hateful Black females can be towards one another.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Like I had bullies in school before, but this is on a national level. And I do get a lot of love, and I'm so grateful for my tribe and for my squad, my T squad. But there's a lot of unhappy, females in this world, and it just made me look at things differently.
How do you feel about the people on social media when they're doing all this commenting about
so much better now than I used to be. Mentally, at first, I was like, oh my God, because like I said, I've never experienced this before. I was like, what? But now I can learn how to ignore people. And another thing is, I am grateful that I'm doing this with, my family, with Marcel, Marrige, and Kimmy, because we do have each other that we can depend on and talk to and encourage each other. It's difficult when you're going through something and nobody else is experiencing the same thing. So they don't really know what type of advice to give you. But because we're going through this together, we can have use each other as a support system. And I have an amazing group of friends, like real girlfriends. And so when I tell you I need to take a trip, my girlfriend's like, Tisha, where we going? Let's book our flight. Let's go.
That's good.
Yeah. So
that's good.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed in that area too. I have some people that I can really trust, that I can, because you need people you can vent to. So absolutely. I have that. I have girls in Huntsville that went to A&M with me that I could trust. I have my tribe that's moved different places. My girlfriends from A&M that I can trust. I still have close high school friends and college. I mean, in elementary friends. So I'm blessed in that situation.
Good.
You?
I hate to see that because y'all came on so strong. You and Melody were like besties. And then Kimmy was there, and you guys came on so strong with the group. That was powerful in itself. The comeback group, that was so powerful in itself. So to see how that's what I love, and I see you do that too. It's reality TV, so we're following reality, and when we're able to look at ourselves and like, oh my gosh, that's what it is, or see other people. It's almost like you're able to hear and see other people's thoughts, and like you're in their home. Like, that's what y'all feeling talking about? Or that's the conversation y'all have? Like, what? So no. I definitely get it. Now, when the theme for me during the show, overall, the show has been like an amazing experience as far as like, I found myself through reality TV. And I always say that, like, I found my voice. I found myself. And I can remember I was so scared, Tisha, the very first confessional. And they asked me to leave. And I'm like, like this, I don't, it was him because he can carry the conversation. I will follow his lead and different things like that. And it was like, he's the man. Remember, I was you. I had the same mindset at first. So I'm like, oh my goodness. And then when I started learning myself and then everything that happened, yes, it hurt. Yes, it was bad. But when I'm in the airport and I see people being healed, or like, thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for putting a real marriage out there. Thank you for just being yourself. I'm like, thank you for reality TV, because it was this platform. I'm able to be my authentic self. I'm able to do what I love to do, and that's serve other people. Easy? No, this is not for everybody, especially if you go out there and you constantly reading comments and you have people dissecting a 45-minute episode, and you're like, you got me all figured out. You do not even know. So, so we just have to
I want
stay
to tell
strong.
you one thing about the you and Glenn situation. I am happy that you guys were able to put your story out yourself, and not one of your castmates try to portray or try to convince people to see your relationship in a different way. I think that's something that we, from the very beginning, that I messed up on. I allowed like some of my castmates to say something about my relationship and really not fight against it because I knew it wasn't true. I figured that people would be like, oh, that don't make sense. And, they would just use their common sense about it. But, that didn't, no, it's not, and it's not taking place. So I feel like by that happening, that set the stage for us for the next 5 years. Like this whole infidelity situation, You know what I'm saying? I understand people deal with it. And I'm not knocking anybody that, have to go through that. But if it's not your story, it's not your story. If you never dealt with it, you didn't deal with it. And to me, it is blocking you from having to go through in the marriage. Yeah. Because what we want to do is like show marriage is a great thing. It's not easy. My husband would say it's easy. For me, it's not an easy thing. It's a great thing and I love it. But I try to showcase what we're really experiencing, and people keep getting stuck on, but he cheated and she was not talking about that. And I'm like, I don't know what y'all want. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's innocent people in jail right now because they confessed to something that they didn't do. Because they got tired of people beating them up about it, or trying to convince them. And what you're not going to ever do is tell me to say something that didn't happen. Now, I tell my truth. I'll be honest all day, every day, because I have nothing to hide. I feel like when you go through things in life, it's for a reason. And it's for your story. It's not for you. It's to help somebody else.
Yeah,
so
that's
all day,
true.
every day. Yeah, I'll tell it. But what I'm not going to do is say something that is not true. And I hate that, that happened between me and my husband because it wasn't supposed to be that way.
Aww.
But yeah.
So for the record, Latisha Scott just said there has been no infidelity, no sign of infidelity, no nothing. So y'all leave her alone. Let her be happy and blissful, as they say, honey. Okay. So
no, I'm just saying, like, we just have to be honest with one another. And as females, let's really I'm happy that we're having this conversation because I want us to have more conversations about, girl, let's just be real about it. Let's really, speak to people that you can trust, because not everybody you feel like you can open up to.
Yeah, and you can't. I learned that even on this show. I'm more guarded now that I see when I watch. You learn something each experience, like from first season, second season, third season. You learn something new about your cast member. You learn something new about yourself. And it's just like your business. You grow at the same time, but it's like, wait a second, it's a growing experience. But overall, for me, the thing is that people say, well, reality TV will ruin your marriage. Reality TV will do X, Y, and Z. I think that it's the people, the other cast members, as you said, they want to deflect from their real lives. But if you are going through something, it's okay to go through whatever your story is, because it will heal other people. And I'm a living witness. You think I wanted to do a DNA test on national television? No. But I knew when someone gave Latrice that information about Glenn supposed to have a baby, and Latrice contacted me and told me that, I wanted to go ahead and like, Glenn, what's going on? Because that was
did you know beforehand though? Did you have any idea?
No, he had an affair with this lady. She was married and he was married. So they were still.
So they both were married.
Yes, they both were married. So that's how that whole thing came about. So when word got out, somebody told Latrice. Latrice called me, and I thank her for telling me that.
That's good.
I appreciate that. She called me and she told me. I got on it with Glenn, and it was like, you need to tell me what's going on. What's going on. I knew this affair was back in 2013. Did a baby come from this? And we were able to, and he even admitted, like, he's thankful for Kingdom Reign because and the network, because that's something that was on him as well that I didn't even know he was dealing with every day. I didn't even know that.
Though?
Like, was that mine? Because he even told me, I contacted her throughout the years to say, hey, if this is my child, let me know, because I grew up, without a relationship with my dad. So I had no idea that he was even like, but he did want to.
Wait. You got to pause for a second. Now, did her husband know that it could have possibly been somebody else's child?
Now, I'm not in their household, but
okay, so the husband never said anything about it. Ooh,
I can't speak. No,
girl, you know about all that on the show.
So it's like, right, girl. So that's why I move how I move now. And it's not like I hate Glenn or anything like that. I appreciate the song, because that was the way we communicate through music. But overall, again, I'm grateful for the platform because I was able to find me, my strength, everything that came to me that's supposed to be for my bad, it manifests to my greater good, you know, and I know it's not over. And being out here in the forefront and you putting yourself out there, so many other things may and may not. I'm only looking for the positive in everything. And if hey, Belle Collective, honey, we be ringing and you just never know. You just never know. But I really hope that one day we're able to come back together as a collective and get back on track. And I believe we will.
So. I believe we will. Let me ask you one question before we end this.
Okay,
now, how is it with you and Glenn? Are y'all back together? How is the trust? How is it? Like, what are some of the steps that you really had to go through to be like, you know what? This test came back negative, so I'm going to try again with you. And what would have happened had the test came back positive?
Woo. Like, just like I said at the reunion, Tisha, that's good, honey. That's like, come on, Oprah, with the question. But just like I said at the reunion, even with the baby, there was the infidelity. Things were still happening at that time, during that time. So it was just like the DMs, remember the text and different things like that. Glenn, of course, is a totally different person now. But you hit the nail on the head, girl, when you said the trust. You know, the trust. Like, we went on these days. We were like, we're going to just get together. We're going to renew. We're going to do all these amazing things. But it's still, with me, it's so much. It's me now. I'll take the blame. I'll put it on me. It's me. You know how men say, it's not you, it's me. So I guess it's like, it's me. I'm still dealing with like trust. I have, that, the trust. I'm really elevating. My goal is to leave a legacy for my son. And, you know, once you start growing and start evolving, I don't want to just immediately say, okay, we good. This still takes time, you know, and to grow together, to heal. Let me see, you know, they say 21 days you can break a habit or start a habit, but I need more than 21 days, you know.
So do you think you're being selfish right now?
I don't think that and you know what? I may be being selfish. So, and I'm not apologetic for being selfish, for loving myself for once in my life. Maybe 2 or 3 times I've been doing lately. It's okay, because it's okay. One thing that I tell my mentees, Tisha, is that when you wake up in the morning, I don't care how much you love Martha. I don't care how much Martha love you. I don't care how much Miss Wanda and them love you. I don't care how much my mama and them love me. When you wake up in the morning and people wake up, Latisha Scott, Latisha Pearson, I'm not your priority. I'm my own priority. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's waking up saying, I got to make sure, how can I make Tisha life amazing today? Right. So we have to be selfish sometimes. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I wanted to make sure that you're doing what you want to do with this platform that God has blessed us with. Because I definitely see greatness in you, you know?
Oh, so thank you.
Definitely keep being you, honey. They come at you, baby, but keep being you. You produce. You got storylines. Tisha, I go over here and say, what they say about what Tisha do? What Tisha do? So, girl, do you. Just keep doing you and make sure that it's not selfish to love yourself. Love yourself, girl. Do you.
I believe that. Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy to have this conversation. Now, we're going to pray that God give us the vision about this whole brunch that we're going to be doing in 2024. So we're going to speak it.
Speak it, man. We're gonna speak it. Yes, let's do it. We're gonna do it big, honey. Yes. We're gonna do it. Now,
so God is going to download the vision and everything inside of us so we can go ahead and have something. We're going to do it. It's going to be great. And I can't wait.
I can't wait, Tisha. I love you, honey. I'm always here for you, and keep doing your thing, baby.
Thank you. Love you too.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in and watching Tisha Times Tisha. Stay tuned for more.